And I am back with my brother from another. I'm talking about Mr. Joe Habib from Ringside Reporter Live. This is Maestro, and I'm essentially facilitating part 3 of a very interesting discussion around the Tank Davis-Ryan Garcia fight. And essentially, what we're going to discuss is the fact that Tank Davis moved the goalposts. What do I mean by that? Well, Garcia and Davis originally agreed to 138, but Tank moved the goalposts at the last minute. The question is, why? Why did he do that? Why would he agree to 138 and then all of a sudden, as the fight gets closer, right, and at the final stages of the negotiating process, does Tank decide to change the weight stipulation? So that's an open question for people. I mean, I have my theory as to why. I mean, Joe, you have your theory as to why. And then we have people like Checkmate Boxing, who you were going back and forth with, who's already here, ready to join us behind the scenes. He has his perspective about it. Tony P, who's in the chat. Big up Tony P. That's my guy. That's my brethren. He's a fellow teacher. He's also a big Tank Davis fan. He's got his perspective. Tony P, you can hit the link. You can join. You can chime in. And you can participate in this discussion. It's Tank Davis. It's Ryan Garcia. They're going to be taking each other on, not at 140, where Tank Davis won a world championship, and I'm putting that in air quotes. Not at 138, the original weight class or weight stipulation, but at 136. Why? What's up, guys? Joe, I know you have an opinion on it. You can share it when you're ready, or I can go to directly to the video evidence that I know you'd like to show all of our great viewers here. The floor is yours, Joe.
Yeah, go to the video. Let's let the cat out the bag, and then we can kind of give our opinions on.
Okay, we're gonna go straight to the video, and then it's whenever you're ready to let Checkmate Boxing in, you let me know.
All right.
All right, you let me know when you're ready for Checkmate.
Play the video, and then we'll let Checkmate in.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Let me pull it up for everybody to see. We're gonna go to our screen share, all right, and we're gonna let people make their own decisions.
It's practicing for the fall. We know
Amen. That. Oh, that's scripture right there. Listen, you're talking about stipulations, and one of those stipulations we just found out today was a rehydration clause to 146, I believe. So, how did you even feel when that came about?
You know what? I thought everything was signed and done, and last minute they threw that at me.
Actually, so this just happened this week.
Even after
not
it was
this
signed?
Week. No.
Okay.
It was like a little bit before that.
Right.
And then another thing was they agreed to 138, and then like 2 weeks later they were like, "Oh, we're not doing it unless you're 136." Right. Like we're not doing it. So there was like a lot of things they
hit you last minute.
Hit me last minute with. Playing a lot of games, but he don't understand that my strength, I don't even, it's pride comes for the.
Well, there you go, Joe. Well, I mean, what do you have to say for yourself?
Again, Tank Davis has the leverage here. He has the right to use it. No one's questioning that. But the whole thing that people are saying, oh, well, Tank Davis is just doing this. And I'm going to repeat myself, some of the things I said earlier. The Tank Davis is just doing this just because he's the A side and he can. I'm just going to be honest. If I'm 50-50 on this fight and I'm deciding who to bet on, and I hear stuff like this, that's just going to tell me that one fighter seems a little bit more concerned about his opponent's physical dimensions than the other does about his, right? So that just shows me like, okay, this guy's maybe a little bit concerned about this guy's size. And then you can say, well, why did he do it against Barrios? Well, Barrios is big, but is he as fast as Ryan Garcia? Does he hit as hard as Ryan Garcia? Is he as good as a fighter? Tank Davis came out of his own mouth and said, this is going to be my toughest fight. Said that. Tank Davis said out of his own mouth, "Look how big you are. You could rehydrate up to 180 pounds," which he's not going to do. But I think Tank was probably just being a little facetious there when he said that. But I'm just saying, if you're 50-50 on the fence here and you're trying to decide on who you're going to bet on, if you hear a fighter say that, I need a rehydration clause. I originally agreed to 138, but now I changed my mind and went down to 120, 136. When I hear those things, I'm looking at a fighter who's having second thoughts, who's second guessing himself, and maybe has a confidence issue. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's just my opinion, but I think those questions you would have to ask, right? Because one guy's at 140, one guy's at 135. A reasonable compromise would be let's meet in the middle, which is 138. But the other guy's like, no, let's just do it at 136. And then the whole
performance anxiety.
Yeah. Then the other argument is, well, Ryan's really a 135 pounder, and I get it. When the fight was first talked about, Ryan was at 135, and so was Tank. But this whole saga's been going on for something like almost 3.5, 4 years, right? So yeah, they were both at 5 when they first started talking about the fight. But Ryan is 5'10". He's got a big frame. He's not a small guy. He's got a bigger frame than Tank. Even Tank said that. He goes, look, you got a bigger frame than me, right? So yeah, the fight was first proposed and discussed at 135, but that was 3 years ago. Now the fight's finally happening, and Ryan had his last 2 fights at 140. I don't think it's outrageous to suggest that Ryan grew out of 135, just like Devin is growing out of 135. And after the Lomachenko fight, the only reason why Devin stayed at 135 is because he has bigger money fights at 135. And after this Lomachenko fight, he even said, Devin himself said that I'm going up to 140, right? So these guys are big, like Devin, Ryan. These are tall, big boned guys. Tank is smaller than them. So, it is what it is. All I'm saying is I'm not mad that Tank did this. I'm not even criticizing Tank for doing this. All I'm saying is I think it's a reasonable, relevant question to present. Is he concerned that Ryan is too big for him? And even though I fought another guy at 140 and didn't have a problem with it, this guy is not only bigger than me, but he's probably just as fast, if not faster, and he could match me in my power. So I'm going to have to kind of level the playing field down a little bit, try to get an advantage. It's quite obvious he is trying to get an advantage, and and in my opinion, I think I'm just going to say, in my opinion, it's quite obvious he's concerned about the guy's size. That's all. That's my argument.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you concerned?
No,
are you concerned?
I've already bet on Ryan.
No, are you concerned about being checkmated?
No, come on. I mean,
we got Checkmate boxing ready to chime in. I want to make sure you're ready, Joe.
Checkmate.
We saw what happened last week.
Checkmate is from Maryland. He has about 7 Tank Davis t-shirts, right? He's met Calvin Ford and Tank. Probably has gone to a few birthday parties. I'm not even mad at him for having the opinion he has. I'm not even mad at him for having the opinion he has. If he's juiced in that deep, into the camp, then I don't have a problem with him.
Well, we're gonna let Checkmate. We're gonna let Checkmate do what he do. Here we go. It's Checkmate boxing. What's good, brother? How are you doing today, fam?
I'm good. Look at Joe. Look at it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you loud and clear. Checkmate always come with the 5-star audio.
All right, cool. Yeah. So someone say, "Oh yeah, Joe cooked me last time." No, that did not happen at all. All you have to do is check the facts. Now, the funny thing is, Joe just played a video, right? I listened. It was like a little clip of Ryan saying, "Oh, the first they agreed to 138." Now Ryan has lied over and over and over again about everything. So is Ryan really trustworthy? Yes or no? So you just played the clip, and this is generally Joe's, MO. He'll play one side. He'll never play the other side. So the only thing you get to argue is based on the evidence Joe presents. Now, I get to present the facts. The facts that you cannot argue with because they're there, not opinion. I don't care about my opinion. I don't care about anybody's opinion. I only comment on the facts that are presented. Are you ready? Okay. So you guys heard.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Do you
Okay.
Talking about these facts, right? And I'm gonna bring in Tony P. He a teacher. He always come with the facts.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm gonna bring in Ahmed, who wants to join the discussion as well. But right now I gotta go like this because we got Joe Habib and we got Maestro against another Maestro, which means teacher, Tony P, and Checkmate Boxing. Go for it.
Okay. What's going on, Tony? But like I said, I presented my facts. Tony, if you know whatever you got to say, brother, your introduction, whatever you need to say. But after you finish talking, I have my facts. I just put it in the back channel, and I'm going to shut it down. When we talk about checkmate, Joe is going to be after this. Joe is going to be bowing down and say, "Checkmate, sir, I give." You have checkmated me. Okay.
Oh, welcome, Checkmate. Welcome. It's always a pleasure to hear you, my brother. And as you know, I'm firmly entrenched in the Tank Davis camp. I am known as Tony Ellaby for some crazy reason, but I'm gonna back my boy every time. So I question my reason for even being here, because I've got no doubt, Checkmate, that with your background, you're about to shut this show down.
Shut it down.
So without further delay, let's get into it.
Go ahead, Maestro. Play the video. I put it in the back link.
Okay, I'm here. I had to step away for a brief
moment.
Not
a problem. Not a problem.
My apologies, brother. I'm not ducking the smoke, just to let you know. I'm not ducking the smoke, okay?
Not a problem. But I want to say all the minions and all the pro Joe minions, because you guys cast your vote even before I even say
it. It should be good. I don't even know if I should play this. It looks like you put our
Biba Maniacs. The Biba Maniacs.
Well, guess what? I'm about to shut all of you down.
Okay, I mean, we're gonna get to it right now. I didn't notice that R. Kelly's in the video, so this should be pretty interesting. Here we go. You know, Checkmate Boxing. You got to put this stuff up on YouTube. I mean,
I know, man. I've been made thousands of videos for Twitter, but I never really. I put this on YouTube for you guys because
I can't gain more than 10 pounds, so 146.
Yeah, and that's the night of the fight.
Yeah.
Say about that.
And how is that going to work on fight night?
Once you step on that scale the second time, you can go do what you got to do. You know, Tank have to do the same thing too. Second weigh in. So
there's a second weigh in for both.
For both, yes. So it is what it is.
Have you ever felt drained up and coming into a fight? Because this fight, you may have that experience since it's a catchweight and there's a rehydration clause.
All right. No, actually, I've never felt that, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because I feel good. I don't like to gain that much weight anyways after the weigh-ins. So I pretty much walk around in the ring at 148, so 146 won't be too much different. He likes to fight people with no power, so he's trying to weight drain me. I don't think it's going to be a problem because I feel good. I don't like to gain that much weight anyways. No, then a rehydration clause. I can't gain more than 10 pounds. There's a lot of stipulations in there that show what kind of character he has. I pretty much walk around in the ring at 148, so 146 won't be too much different.
Tank have to do the same thing too. Second weigh in.
So there's a second weigh in for both?
For both, yes. We campaign at 135. We choose to stay at 135 because that's where our belt is at. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do 135. He's doing 136. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to do 136. You can't do this.
Yeah.
That's why we're sitting here, because they agreed to it.
What you fight at?
35,
And what you walk like? What you walk around?
150, 152.
I don't know if you've seen it. Chris Mannix revealed that the fight's going to be a catchweight, and
Yeah.
much ado about nothing. I felt like, is it just because of you guys both coming off long layoffs, and so you guys don't have to really be pressing your body to make 135?
I mean, yeah, this was agreed to long before the contract was signed. And it really has nothing to do with if I can make 135. I know I can make 135. I'm on track to make 135 right now. I'm 7 pounds away, so it's really nothing. But this is smart, you know what I mean? We're just coming back and we're gonna make 139. What's the difference between 4 pounds? I mean,
really
it's
nothing.
not really nothing. And I don't blow up in fights to act like I'm fat, or even in my long layoff, you could look at me and say Ryan's in shape. They like to shit on me. I know I can make 135. It's really nothing. But this is smart.
Oh!
Well, Joe.
It's
Well,
over.
Joe. I did ask Joe if he was worried about. I did ask Joe if he was worried about what was going to happen. If he was worried, like Tank is worried about Ryan. If he was worried about being checkmated, Joe, the floor is yours, brother. You go for
it.
it.
Competition is over.
First round knockout. Go, Joe.
Guess what?
MJ has just delivered the dunk from the halfway line.
First round knockout.
Parliamentary procedures in effect starting now. I don't disagree with anything that was said in that video. I agree with everything that's in that video. But I'm still going to ask the question, is Tank Davis concerned about fighting Ryan Garcia at 138? That's my question. Is there a concern there? And is there a concern? Is there a concern because even with that 139 catch weight, there was still no rehydration clause in there. So even if you put him down to 136 and then you throw a rehydration clause in there on top of that, I mean, again, Ryan agreed to it. Tank's the A side. He has every right to ask for it. It is what it is. The only question I have is Tank concerned about Ryan Garcia's size? Now, if I'm betting on this fight, that's going to be a component in my decision-making if I'm down the middle 50-50. I want to know that the guy I'm betting on is 100% motivated, confident that he's going to win. Now, if I have a carpenter, right, working on my house, right, and he tells me, oh, I can only work on sunny days, right? But then I have another carpenter that tells me I can work any day, even if it's a little drizzly out, right? That shows me that that carpenter has confidence in his ability and his work. The other guys, he may even do a better job than the other guy on the sunny day than what that guy can do on the cloudy day. But there's always that chance that there's going to be a cloudy day, right? I can't guarantee that there won't be a cloudy day. Do I have confidence in that guy that can't perform on the cloudy day? So I'm just saying, this shows me Tank may have a little bit of issue in confidence with Ryan Garcia because he feels as though I need to have him at 136. Then I want him to weigh in again the next day and only rehydrate 10 pounds. So everything in that video is 100% accurate. I don't refute any of it. I don't. But I do believe that Ryan Garcia would have preferred to have fought at 138 with no rehydration clause. And I do believe that this is more beneficial to Tank. You could argue it's not going to matter either way, right? I think there's plenty enough time where Ryan can acclimate to this. I feel Ryan will be fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm just a little bit concerned, and I'm curious to know, is Tank worried about it?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
All right.
That's all I'm asking.
Joe, you requested parliamentary procedure. I know Tony's big on parliamentary procedure. So Tony is going to get parliamentary procedure today. All right. I'm going to go to Tony in a moment. Tony, I'm going to put you on the clock for your first. You got 2 minutes to cook.
I don't need 2 minutes.
The floor is yours. You don't have to use all of it. Go for it. You don't have to use all of it.
The simple answer is, Joe, you're absolutely correct. Two things can be right at the same time and be absolutely juxtaposed in what they mean and how they come across. You are right. Tank has every reason to be concerned with Ryan's size. And I said this last week. I don't think he was concerned about
Barrios.
Because Barrios doesn't carry that pop like Ryan does. So quite simply, I've got a concern. This guy is physically bigger. He's faster than anything I've ever faced. So I'm going to try to do everything I can to ensure that I can bring this guy to a point where I can manipulate some of his advantages. So that's it. He's done what he needed to do. And by all intents and purposes, thank you very much, Checkmate. Your case to me is an open and shut case. Tank and Ryan have agreed a deal, signed on the dotted line. Everybody's happy. He can do the weight. Let's get it on.
There you go, Tony P. Very concise, very salient points by the teach himself. I would have expected no less from brother Tony P. Joe, you requested parliamentary procedure, so you're going to get parliamentary procedure. Joe, you've got 2 minutes on the clock. Go for it.
And here's another thing. I'm going to give Checkmate some more props, and I'm going to even say he's more correct on this, because it's Ryan's fault that Checkmate has that information where he can even make a video like that. You know why? Because he did say those things, and he did open the door for Tank to ask for those things. Just like when Canelo had that catch weight with Floyd, he did say, I would even fight him at a catch weight. So what does that do? That leaves the door open for someone to ask for it. But it still does not dismiss my question. In my opinion, is Tank concerned about the size? That's my only argument. I'm betting on the fight. I already bet on Ryan. And to tell you the truth, that is a big reason why I'm betting on Ryan. I think Tank is concerned with this guy's size. He even said, this is the best guy I'm going to face in my career, right? He even said, this guy is bigger than me, right? He never said that Barrios was bigger than me. He never even mentioned size when it came to Barrios. He didn't care. So all I'm saying is, if you're a Tank fan, would you acknowledge that maybe he's a little bit lacking in the confidence department? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying.
I would 100% agree with you.
He's conceded his time. Tony, you requested parliamentary procedure. We're going to follow.
Answer Joe.
No. We're going to parliamentary procedure. All right. I'm Speaker of the House right now, not you. All right. So we're going to go to Checkmate Boxing, and then if Checkmate Boxing wants to concede some of his time, we can do that. Checkmate Boxing. You've heard what Joe Habib has to say. Tank has performance anxiety. He's concerned about Ryan in a way that he was never concerned about Mario Barrios when he fought at 140, not at a catch weight. What is your rebuttal to Joe Habib's statement? We're gonna do rebuttals now. I think we should just do. Actually, I'll give you your 2 minutes. Let's go. 2 minutes to Checkmate Boxing. The floor is yours. Checkmate. Oh, sorry, I have to unmute you. Go for it. Let me reset that. That was my fault. Go for it. Checkmate.
All right, cool. Yeah, so the first thing you would notice right after the video, Joe took 2 minutes to finally say, after talking for 2 minutes around and around, he said, checkmate. You want that video was 100% correct. I agree with everything. So he said everything, but I was checkmated. because that was the case. If you cannot refute the evidence that is stated in the video, then you, sir, in fact, are checkmated. Why? Because when you notice with a real Slim Shady, please stand up. Guess what, guys? That was at the same New York presser at the same day. So how does Ryan at the same day, same outfit, just minutes apart, say, oh, I'm fine with 146. I walk around with 40. I have no problem with it. And then say, oh, he's trying to weight drain me. Oh, I'm nervous. No, you can't do that. The reason why there's a weight clause, a rehydration clause on that is because Tank said, hey, just like Calvin Ford, Tank coach said, say, hey, we want the fight at 135. You are a 135 fighter. You have been fighting your last 3 fights at catchweight. Why did he say he wanted to fight the last 3 fights at catchweight, even though he said, hey, I can make 135 easy? He said, because, hey, it's smart. So Ryan tell you it's smart for him to do catchweight. He has no problem making the catchweight. And the fact of the matter, he had no problem making 135. Okay, and the point in this state that fact, to pound that to fruition, he basically said, hey, I'm going to complain to the world so you guys can already give me a built-in excuse for when I get knocked out about this catchweight, even though I asked for it, and I can go ahead and get 136 with a rehydration, but I refuse to take 135 with no rehydration. Checkmate.
I got it, and your time is up. Checkmate. I'm gonna start
Somebody's cooking. Somebody's
excuse
cooking.
me. Excuse me. Parliamentary procedure. Parliamentary procedure. See, the funny thing is he was on Monday Night Smoke, and I'm talking about Tony, projecting, saying that I interrupt when nobody interrupt more than Tony. So it is what it is. So listen, I'm actually gonna start my rebuttal to this, and I'm probably gonna concede some of my time to Joe because I'm on Joe's side of this argument. Believe it or not, but nice frying pan, Tony. That was very good. I'm not gonna lie. So my rebuttal is this, and then I gotta say this, Checkmate. We need you to respond to the very simple question because you've created this video. I found it very funny. It was informational in terms of Ryan Garcia's statements about being able to make 136, about not being that affected by a rehydration clause. That's all true. But if you notice, that's not actually the topic. That's not actually the question. It's not about Ryan's feelings. It's not about Ryan's need for a safe space, i.e. these rehydration clauses and weight demands. This is a discussion about why Tank is doing this. So the question is, why did Tank create these rules for Ryan Garcia, and why didn't he do it for Mario Barrios? It is an indication that there is some level of concern. Joe, I'm going to concede the remainder of my time to you.
Listen, Ryan double talked. He's double talked in the past. He hasn't always been honest. He has said things before. That's not the debate. I'm not defending Ryan. I'm not attacking Tank. I'm just curious to the mindset. Like when I break down fights, the bell rings even, the fight starts even before the first bell rings. I got to know the mental psyche of the fighters. That's a large component. Fighters going through some crap with his girlfriend, right? During training camp. That's going to affect his performance in training camp. So if one fighter is concerned about another fighter's size, that's just going to make me think, and I do not think that Garcia wanted a rehydration clause. And I think if he was given a choice, he would rather have this fight at 140.
And there you go. I believe we're going back to Checkmate now. Checkmate, you got any rebuttal to that?
Absolutely. Okay, your question, you're saying why is the catchweight? See, you have a complete different tone from last week, Joe. Last week you said, Tank is the one who asked for the checkmate, asked for the catchweight. Tank did that, Tank did this. So now you concede that Ryan asked for the catchweight, and so now you're complaining. Tank is the A side. Tank is the face of boxing. Tank is setting records. Tank is the draw. Ryan has only sold a million plus gate, $1 million gate twice. Okay, Ryan has never done pay-per-view. His last fight, he only had 9,000 paying customers versus Fortuna. Okay, so why should Tank acquiesce to a fighter who wants to fight out of the 135 weight class when he clearly states fighting at catchweight is smart? Okay, he has nothing to fear about Ryan's size because, in fact, Mario Barrios is bigger, is stronger. Okay, and he fought Mario Barrios at his weight without a weight catch weight. Tank has never ever fought at a catch weight, nor has any other ranked or rated 135 fighter. This is something that Ryan is trying to do to follow in Canelo's footstep, because Canelo had 7 fighters with catch weights and 4 fighters with rehydration clause. So Ryan has ascended to be the new catchweight king. He said, if it could work for Canelo, it could work for me. Okay, like Tank said, just like Calvin Ford said, Tank is a 135 fighter. That's it. That's all. If you don't see anybody else doing, Ryan has done nothing. He's accomplished nothing in boxing. 0 titles, 0 title fights, nothing. So he does not get to dictate anything to King Tank. You get that? You step in the ring at 135 point blank. So the rehydration clause is a penalty for Ryan begging for a catchweight, even though he can make 135. Checkmate.
It remains to be seen whether that will be a checkmate. Joe, go for it.
So if Ryan was given the choice on if he could take this fight at 138 with no rehydration clause or 136 with the rehydration clause, would he take the 136 with the rehydration clause? That's the question I have. That's number one. Number two, yeah, you were right, but the crux of my argument last week was basically that the 138 was changed to 136, right? And the rehydration clause was added. And the original catch weight that Ryan did ask for was 138. Now you can say he's lying about that or whatever. I mean, we can go back and forth all day on who's lying and who's telling the truth. That's going to be subjective. But again, do you think? And here's another thing. Tank actually missed one weight at 135 before too. So is it really easy for him to make 135? Is it out of the realm of possibility to see Tank moving up to 140 before his career's out? Is he going to be a 135er for the rest of his career? So I don't know. I just think that Ryan did grow out of 135. He's younger. He's growing. He's getting bigger. He's got a bigger frame than Tank. So I again, do you think that Tank is concerned about Ryan's size? Can you at least answer that? That's all I want you to answer. Is Tank concerned about Ryan's size? Does Tank think he's at a disadvantage fighting Ryan at 138 instead of fighting him at 136? Is he just doing this just because? Because if it's a just because, why wouldn't he have done it against Barrios? If it's a just because, he was the A side against Barrios too. So like your reasoning for this isn't adding up in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. Tank can do this. He has every right to do this. He did do this, and Ryan agreed to it. That's not the question. My question is, why? Is he concerned? Is this showing a lack of confidence? That's all I'm asking.
And that's time. So look, Tony P, you want a moment? Tony
Please.
P, it's your turn. Actually, you're absolutely right. The floor is yours, Tony.
Okay, one second, Tony. 1 second. After
No. Parliamentary procedure. Parliamentary procedure. Checkmate. It's Tony's turn. You had your turn earlier. Here we go. He can concede some time.
I'm happy to concede to Checkmate. Allow Checkmate his time.
Okay, Checkmate. Tony's conceded his time. We can go to you, Checkmate.
Yeah.
Checkmate boxing. I'm going to put the clock up.
Okay.
The time is yours. Go for it. Very gracious
Joe asked
of Tony.
me a question. I appreciate it, Tony. Joe asked me a question. I wanted to be able to respond to him right away in order. Okay. You asked me, I answered that question. Tank has nothing to fear about Ryan Garcia's size. As I mentioned, the rehydration clause at 136 was a penalty for Ryan not fighting at 135. Ryan already stated that he can make 135 with no problem. He even, when the video he say, "Hey, I'm 7 pounds out. I can make it easy." He keeps telling you guys that it's smart business to do catch weight. Now he did catch weight with bum fighters that you don't even care about, that you'll never even watch. So therefore, he was able to take advantage of them. Okay. Now, Devin Haney shrunk down to Skeletor to make 135 over in Australia. If Devin Haney can do it, Ryan could do it. Ryan is just lazy. Now, the only thing about the 135 that you are hawking on to, Joe, is that Ryan said it, but you don't hear anybody else say it. Only thing you heard, Calvin Ford says, "Hey, he wanted this. He said we wanted to fight at 135. So when the contract is sent and the contract is saying is 135, guess what? It was Ryan who came back and said, "No, I want catch weight." And they say, "No, we're not going to give you catch weight." So, "No, I want catch. I want 30. Okay, how about this? 130. Can we do this?" Like, if you do that, you're going to have a penalty. Now, Ryan could have did 135 with no rehydration penalty, but he did 1 pound more, 136, just so he can cry and complain, blah, 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 blah. Now, as he stated in the video, you cannot trust him. With the real Slim Shady, please stand up with the same daggone presser. Okay, so Joe, don't saying you taking Ryan's words and saying, "Oh, Ryan is honest," but then you see he lied. Ryan can't be trusted. You've never doubted Tank words before. Go ahead.
Reset the clock. So you're making statements about Ryan having catch weights in the past, but you have no evidence or any record of him asking for rehydration clauses. That's the key element. And they originally agreed to 138. And then you're saying, well, if they fought at 135, there would be no rehydration clause. I'm not so sure if that's the case. I'm going to be honest, judging by Tank's actions, if they already agreed to 138 and now they had to change it to 136 and add a rehydration clause, even if I'm speculating here and I could be wrong, I'm going to say that there was always the chance that this rehydration clause was going to be on the table. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but if you're saying things like, well, this guy rehydrates up to 180, like, you're telling on yourself, bro. Like, these are things Tank said out of his own mouth. Look how big you are. You rehydrate up to 180, right? You can call Ryan lazy, but even at 140, he looks shredded to the bone. He doesn't look fat to me, bro. I mean, the guy's 5'10", right? He's got long arms. And then when Devin Haney does look like Skeletor at the weigh-in, no one's telling him he has a rehydration clause the next day. And I think if someone tells him that, I think he's moving up to 140. I don't think Devin Haney's fighting with rehydration clauses, because the night of the fight against Goalposts, he looked like a friggin' junior middleweight. So you could say Ryan's lazy. I mean, these are all subjective opinions that you're coming at me with, but I don't think Ryan wanted this rehydration clause, and Ryan's never had a rehydration clause in any of those other catchweight fights. And you say 140 is a catchweight when 140 is not a catchweight. That's the junior welterweight limit. So technically, there was only one catchweight fight. So I don't understand why you're saying there was two, because 140 is not a catchweight. It's a weight class. So it is what it is.
There you go. And Joe completes that in under the 2-minute time limit. Excellent work by brother Joe Habib, Mr. Habibi himself. It's time for Tony. Tony graciously handed over his time to Checkmate Boxing last round. Tony P is going to get the full 2 minutes to cook. Tony P, the floor is yours.
Okay, so as I started this show, two things can be right at the same time and totally be juxtaposed. I've seen some of the comments, people saying, "Oh, but Checkmate and Tony are cooking. They're doing this. They're not being honest." We laid it out. We've said the truth. Yeah. Ultimately, Joe Habib is right in what he said, and Checkmate is right in what he said. Yeah. I'm invested in Tank, so I am biased. But what I am also doing is being respectful of truth. And Joe makes a valid point. A man is afraid of a guy being too big. Yeah? So what, Joe, you are saying is absolutely valid and probably true. But as I said, the two fighters have competed at 135. It's on camera. Checkmate has graciously brought forward the video proof that Ryan states he's a competitor at lightweight 135. As people in the chat have alluded to, Haney drowned himself to make 135. Ryan just ain't going for it. He's saying, listen, I want to be considered a lightweight, but I don't want to do the hard work. So let's be honest, guys. Yeah, both things can be true at the same time. Tank, yes, he's afraid, but let's not make Tank some kind of chicken. He's a 3-weight Reggie Belt champion. I'll concede that, Maestro. Reggie Belt. But he's competed at three divisions. Yeah? To my knowledge, Tank has how many titles that he's ever got? 0.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted me to answer that question because we are following parliamentary procedure, and we are trying to do this with some semblance of respect for one another and not over talking. And I think we've been doing a really good job at that. We've been getting a lot of great feedback today with the clock. So thank you to everybody for that. Just to let you guys have an idea, if you're late to the show, okay, that's okay, because we do have the video. I'm going to replay. They're very short videos. So I'm going to replay Joe's video, and I'm going to replay the video submitted as evidence from Checkmate Boxing. So here we go. Let's have a quick rewatch of the video evidence so that you guys know exactly what we are talking about. First, we're going to go to Joe's video evidence. Then we're going to go back to Checkmate Boxing. They're very short videos. Bear with us. Here we go.
Probably comes before the fall. You know
Amen.
that.
Oh, that's scripture right there. Listen, you talking about stipulations, and one of those stipulations we just found out today was a rehydration clause to 146, I believe. So how did you even feel when that came about?
You know what? I thought everything was signed and done, and last minute they threw that at me.
So
Actually,
this just happened this week.
Even after
not
it was
this week.
signed?
No.
Okay.
It's like a little bit before that.
Right.
And then another thing was they agreed to 138, and then like 2 weeks later they were like, "Oh, we're not doing it unless you're 136."
Right.
Like we're not doing it. So there was like a lot of things they
Hit you last minute with.
hit me last minute with, playing a lot of games, but he don't understand that my strength. I don't even. Because pride comes before the fall.
And there we go. So that was the video submitted by none other than Mr. Habibi, Joe Habib himself. All right. And what I'm going to do now is go straight again back to the video evidence from Checkmate Boxing. Here we go. Let's get it up over there. Salute to Checkmate Boxing for this.
I know I can make 135. It's like it's really nothing. I can't gain more than 10 pounds.
So 146.
Yeah.
And that's the night of the fight?
Yeah.
Say about that.
And how is that going to work on fight night?
Once you step on that scale the second time, you can go do what you got to do. You know, Tank have to do the same thing too. Second weigh in. So
There's a second win for both?
for both, yes. So it is what it is.
Have you ever felt drained up and coming into a fight? Because this fight, you may have that experience since it's a catchweight and there's a rehydration clause.
All right. No, actually, I've never felt that, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because I feel good. I don't like to gain that much weight anyways after the weigh-ins. So I pretty much walk around in the ring at 148. So 146 won't be too much different. He likes to fight people with no power, so he's trying to weight drain me. I don't think it's going to be a problem because I feel good. I don't like to gain that much weight anyways. No, but then a rehydration clause, I can't gain more than 10 pounds. There's a lot of stipulations in there that show what kind of character he has. I pretty much walk around in the ring at 148, so 146 won't be too much different.
Tank have to do the same thing too. Second weigh in.
So there's a second win for both?
For both, yes. We campaign at 135. We choose to stay at 135 because that's where our belt is at. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do 135. He's doing 136. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to do 136. You can't do this.
Yeah.
That's why we sitting here, because they agreed to it.
What you fight at?
35.
What you walk around?
150, 152.
I don't know if you've seen it. Chris Mannix revealed that the fight's going to be a catchweight, and
Yeah.
much ado about nothing. I felt like, is it just because of you guys both coming off long layoffs, and so you guys don't have to really be pressing your body to make 135?
I mean, yeah, this was agreed to long before the contract was signed. And it really has nothing to do with if I can make 135. I know I can make 135. I'm on track to make 135 right now. I'm 7 pounds away, so it's really nothing. But this is smart, you know what I mean? We're just coming back and we're gonna make 139. What's the difference between 4 pounds? I mean,
really nothing.
Not really nothing. And I don't blow up in fights to act like I'm fat, or even in my long layoff, you could look at me and say Ryan's in shape. They like to shit on me. But I know I can make 135. It's really nothing. But this is smart.
Oh!
Checkmate boxing. That's as he says it. It's your move. I gotta be honest. I don't agree with Checkmate boxing arguments on this, but the video was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Very entertaining. Even on the rewatch, I got to give a big up to Checkmate boxing because that was a great video. I'm not gonna lie. It was very entertaining to watch. So before we get into what I think should probably be final statements at this point, I do want to go over some of the super chats. Nando says, Flashlight, the only parliament I care about is bringing the P-Funk. Shout out to Tony P. Tony P get a lot of love across my channel, across Joe's channel now, as he's made his presence known. My fellow Teach. Check out that DVD collection. Check out that CD collection. That's some impressive stuff. Base the Kid submitted a super chat. Thank you, Base the Kid. We had another super chat from Nando. We getting the super chat today. Big up to all of the community, especially the members. And I believe there was another super chat somewhere. A couple more, actually. We've got Papa Chubby, originally from the 416. Google that. If you don't know, you better know. Where has Tank challenged himself ever? It's old. Base the Kid with another super chat. There are a bunch of different clips. We can't see the timeline between these statements. And Slight Tendency says Tank and Checkmate equals Star Wars themed wedding. Does anyone have anything to add to this discussion? Joe Habib.
All I'm gonna say is this before I let the almighty Tony P go. If I hired a bodyguard and someone was getting ready to attack me, and then my bodyguard says, "Look how big that guy is," I'd be a little bit concerned that my bodyguard may not be able to do the job. If I'm going to war and I got soldiers around me and we're looking across the field at another army and everyone's saying, "Wow, look how big those guys are," right? Those guys are bigger than us. I'm a little bit concerned that those soldiers may not be good partners to go into war with if they're concerned about the enemy's size. So that's just my thing, man. If I'm hearing somebody say, "Look how big you are, you blow up to 180 pounds," that's giving me an indication that maybe you are concerned with the combatant you're going in the ring with, his size. That's going to be my argument. That's always been my argument. I'm not going to say Ryan always tells the truth. I'm not going to say Tank always tells the truth. What I am going to say is one guy is showing evidence that he is concerned with the other guy's size. That's just my argument. I don't see anyone refuting that. My time is up.
I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Hello. Okay, so once again, Joe, I love you dearly, brother. You are without doubt a man of great wisdom in this sport, and your views are definitely applicable. As I said, and I'll say it for the last time, hopefully, I do not disagree with your point. A man can be afraid of another man because he's too big. In your argument about troops going to war, let me just counter that argument. Have you heard of the Dahomey tribe? They've made a film about it.
No,
it's
sorry.
called The Woman King.
Okay.
They're also present in Wakanda, the female army.
Okay.
Because if you're going to talk about, oh, we got David versus Goliath here, then yes, we do. We have one small guy fighting one big guy, and the small guy saying, I'm a little bit afraid. For people in the chat who are saying, well, what should we do when Ryan knocks out Tank? My argument is done. I'm finished. I can't defend a man who loses. He's lost. He put in all his stipulations and he lost. So then the game is over. I'm like Zerdo. I'm like Maestro with Zerdo. Oh, but Zerdo is this and Zerdo is that. No, Zerdo got knocked out. End of. Finished. He got finished. So when Tank loses, I'm going to come on here and concede I lost the battle, because in this thing, this is a war, but the battle is when the fight is over and one man is raised, his arm is raised over another. Yeah? At that point, I can come back in and say, there we go. And all you people who are making this and that story about, oh, but what if this and what if that? It's all about the two guys when they get in the ring. Let's see who wins. That's all I can say. You're on mute. You're on mute.
So Tony, excellent use of the clock. Perfect timing by Tony P. You know, teachers, I wouldn't expect anything less from a teacher. You know, we gotta plan our lessons to work to a teaching schedule. You know, we gotta do our transitions on point. So Tony, excellent use of the shot clock on that one. What I will say, and I'm going to use up a little bit of time myself on this. I don't think I'll need the full 2 minutes, but Tony, I mean, you're bringing up Hollywood movies, fictional movies to explain things. Wakanda's fiction, fam. Okay?
The homie isn't. The homie is not fiction,
The
bro.
Woman King was a fictional movie, Tony.
It's not, bro. It's a fact.
Was a fiction. It was loosely related to some facts. It was modern Hollywood wokeism at its finest. It's a loose account of reality, and it was based on an obvious ethnicity in West Africa that, by the way, was enslaving other ethnicities in West Africa. So let's not get into that, but
that's shown in The Woman King.
I'm gonna leave the last minute or so here to Joe, because at the end of the day, no one's challenged the point of he didn't need this for Mario Barrios, but he needs it for Ryan Garcia, and that raises questions. That's all any of us are saying. That's what Checkmate is unable to respond to. And I'll leave my last 45 seconds to Joe.
Joe, let me take this.
You can have it, Tony. I'll give it to you.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate
the most honorable
that.
Tony P.
Brother,
The most honorable
really
Tony
simple,
P.
Because Maestro is pretending like he hasn't heard me say over and over again. Mario Barrios does not give Tank the same worries that Ryan Garcia does. It's simple as that. End of.
Okay.
Let Checkmate get his last 2 minutes.
Okay, we'll stop the clock, and Checkmate will get his last 2 minutes. Excellent use of time today, Tony, other than interrupting me constantly when I was speaking about the Woman King and the fake Wakanda, which never existed. But
Rob, you're a teacher, man. You can't get away with that one. If you're a teacher, you have to know your history.
Yeah, Wakanda is fiction, and the Woman King is a loosely based story on something that actually happened.
Maestro, Tony P has a library behind him. Don't disrespect his knowledge.
Don't disrespect me, bro, because I literally brought the book down for you. Yeah. If
okay.
You
let me reset this for
Tony.
Checkmate.
You have grounds for defamation against Maestro. You have grounds for defamation.
I'm not saying that. Look, I'm not saying that the homie aren't a real ethnic group that didn't exist at that time. No, what I'm saying is that the woman king is a fake story. If you want to believe it, that's fine.
Stop nitpicking, Maestro.
If you want to believe it, that's fine. I'm not saying that the homie don't exist or never existed. What I'm saying is that the woman king is a Hollywood story. But we're off topic here. It typically happens when I get into discussions with Tony. But Checkmate Boxing, you got 2 minutes. Final statements. Go for it.
All right. It seems that Joe and my man Tony, as well as you, Maestro, all of you guys are ignoring my answers, and you are ignoring the video because you keep asking the same repetitive rhetorical question. Is Tank scared of the bigger Ryan? How could Tank be scared of the bigger Ryan when fact Ryan said he is a 135 fighter? When fact Ryan said he can make 135 easy, but he chooses to do catch weight because it's smart. When fact the fight was offered to Ryan at 135, not 136, not 138, not 140. In fact, the reason why Tank did not, there was no catch weight with Mario Barrios, and there was no weight stipulation with Mario Barrios, because Tank went up to challenge Mario Barrios for his particular title with no restrictions, because Mario didn't ask for no restrictions. Ryan is acting like a diva, and you guys are falling for it. Tank has you've never heard him ask for a catch weight, and you guys keep saying, oh, Tank missed weight, but guess what? Ryan missed weight too. He missed weight for his first 2 tries at 130. Okay, I got that video too if you want to see it. Okay, so Ryan has missed weight and he's lazy. Canelo said Ryan was lazy. Canelo said Ryan doesn't train, he come in 20 minutes and leave, because he is not a dedicated fighter. Okay, so I didn't prove my point. You guys are just ignoring it. Tony, no, Tank is not scared of Barrios, and he's definitely not scared of Ryan, because Ryan is a lesser fighter. Ryan is not an accomplished fighter. Ryan is not a polished fighter. Tank said on the stage himself, "You are not a complete fighter." That's the reason why they're going to have to. Joe Goose would have to pick you up. Oscar's going to have to pick you up. Bernard's going to pick you up, and I'm off the stage with that. Checkmate.
One last question to Checkmate before we go. Win, lose, or draw, if Ryan Garcia's next fight is at 140, will you concede that he is no longer a 135-pound fighter?
If he moves up to no. If he chooses to move to 135, then move to 140, then he'll be a 140 fighter. He has never fought a 140 fighter. He has never campaigned at 140. If he moves there, then guess what? Then guess who did it? Tio moved to 140. Guess who's a 140 fighter now? Teofimo. Guess who never asked for a catch weight at 135? Teofimo. Guess who's a 140 fighter now who's fighting for a championship? Raleigh. Okay, guess who never asked for a catch weight at 135? Raleigh. Guess who said they're going to move to 140? Devin. Guess who never asked for a catch weight at 135? Devin. All of these guys are bigger and stronger than Ryan, okay? And they are smart and professional enough to make that weight. Do not fault Tank for the actions of a insecure, low self-esteem, unprofessional fighter like Ryan. Tank is Tank, and that's it. He's 135 fighter, and if you don't ask me, look at the video and see what Calvin Ford says. We had campaigned at 135. We got our belt at 135, and this is where we fight. We are the bosses. You stepping in my house. In my house, I am the king. Okay? Don't ask me. Don't ask me.
Okay. All right, checkmate. All right, you got it. We got it. What's funny to me is Tony is there clapping his hands when Tony doesn't even agree with you on the most salient point, which is that Tony didn't agree with Checkmate on the most salient point, which is that he's doing something different for Ryan than he did for for Barrios and the reasons why.
It's
So
not that I
listen,
don't
Tony.
agree with him, but
Are you
I'm
guys
happy to
ignoring my
concede.
reasons?
I
Are
live
you
in
guys
the I live in the
ignoring my
real world. I don't live in Hollywood fiction, Tony.
Hang
I
on,
don't live
wait,
in
wait, wait.
Wakanda.
It's
I don't
not
live
that
in the
I
I don't
agree.
live in the world of the woman king. I live in the real world. Planet
Brother,
Earth
Maestro,
2020.
stop defaming.
No.
Stop defaming,
Planet
Maestro.
Earth 20.
Stop defaming.
Let me burn. Let
He's
me
doing it
burn,
again.
Joe. Let
He's
me
doing it
burn,
again.
Tony.
Do it
Let me
again.
burn. I live in the
Parliamentary
real
speeches.
world in 2023. I don't live in Wakanda. I don't live in the woman king
Brother.
Hollywood fiction. Stop it. That's a real book that they used very loosely, by the way, to make that movie.
Brother, don't let me bring out the knowledge to you, yeah? You want to call yourself the real knowledge. Now you're looking like a fool. All right?
Maestro, you got
No,
a
I'm
fake
not.
green.
You looking
got a
like
fake-
a fool.
Maestro,
You think
got a
that the
fake
woman
green-
king is some kind of real life
Maestro,
story?
Maestro, you got a fake green string behind you. He's got a wealth of knowledge behind him in a bookcase. I have to go with Tony P here. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Listen, Checkmate.
You guys
it's not
are
that I don't
are
agree
comedy.
with
You guys are too much.
It's not that I don't agree with you on the point about Tank not being afraid of Ryan. But you know what? For the sake of letting this argument move on without it being back and forth about a little thing, yeah, I'm willing to concede. Allow the people that believe Tank is afraid to believe that. Because as I said, two things can be true in the same point and be juxtaposed against each other. Yeah. So allow Joe his time and his belief. I'm happy to understand that. You know, in the previous argument where we're talking about Fury and Usyk, we had juxtaposing arguments about Fury and Usyk, which Joe once again came with reasonable arguments for both sides to be understood to be truthful and negative. And I agree, he was right. So I'm not saying, Checkmate, that I don't agree with you, because as I said, I'm totally invested in Tank. I really don't believe Tank is afraid of Ryan. However, I will concede, yeah, he is doing what he is needing to do in order to try to make this fight as viably positive for himself as he can do legally.
By fighting at 135, Tony?
If that is it, so be it.
By requesting a fight at 135, he's doing things within the weight class. There's nothing that's normal.
But the fight,
Ryan is the one who ran out of the side of the parameters.
Let's get this right, Checkmate. This fight isn't at 135. It's now at 136.
Well,
yeah?
I said
so I'm
Tank
happy to concede
requested
that.
135 just like normal.
So no, this isn't like normal because technically this isn't a lightweight fight. This is a super lightweight fight.
So
No, sir.
give me a second. Give me a second, Checkmate. Okay, because Joe's there. Joe's been caping for Tony today, and I really don't know why.
Maestro, take the L, please.
No. You
Maestro.
take the L, son. You take the L because I got this article right here.
Killing you right
I'm
now.
speaking.
Oh,
I'm
no,
speaking.
he
Let me
didn't.
burn.
Oh,
Let me
no, he
burn.
didn't.
Let me burn.
Oh, no, he
Let me
didn't.
burn. Let me burn. This is on the Woman King.
My God.
Okay,
Look where
this is
guy
the story of the Woman King, and as I said earlier, while most of the Woman King and its characters were largely fictionalized, a few of its central roles were inspired by actual accounts of Agoji women.
Exactly what Tony
Tony,
P
you
said.
need to stop it. And
Exactly
Tony,
what
you need to
Tony
stop
P
it.
said.
You both
That's
need to
exactly
stop
what
it.
Tony
It was
P
largely fictionalized, just like I said. Now back to boxing.
It's based on a true story,
Now,
like Tony P
I
said.
never said it wasn't based on a true story. I said it was loosely based. Loosely based.
You just got
largely
checkmated
fictionalized.
by
Largely.
Tony P. You
No, I
got
did not
checkmated
get
by Tony
checkmated by
P.
Tony P. That's never happened and never will happen. That never happened, never will happen. So you guys can live in Wakanda and then this fake story for as long.
I'm taking over his mantle as the real knowledge.
So getting back to Checkmate.
I'm the real knowledge now.
If Checkmate believes that Ryan Garcia stopped fighting at 135.
Yeah.
Because he's lazy.
Right, Tony.
If he believes that, then that's his opinion. I can't objectively state that couldn't be true. I don't know. Is he lazy? Is he not? I've never been in the gym with him. I don't know. Canelo criticized him for going in for 20 minutes and walking out. Could he still make 135 and be comfortable? I don't know.
He said he could. Did he say that in the video Joe, let me ask you, because Joe, you never responded directly to any of the statement that I made. You always
Give me
went
the
back
question.
on.
Give me the questions. Give me the
Well,
questions.
well,
I'll answer them all. Grill me.
okay,
I'm on the
okay.
witness stand right now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it,
I'm
sir.
on the witness
Did
stand. I got my right
Ryan's
hand raised.
okay, okay. Did Ryan say that he was a 135 fighter and
Yes.
he chose
Yes.
to fight at catch weight because it's easy and because it's smart?
Yes.
Okay, is the only reason why Ryan fought Fortuna at 140, the 135, 142 at 140, because Fortuna was offered to fight at 7 weeks out, and he was completely out of shape, and there was no way that he could make 135.
That could be true, but also Ryan.
I have the link. I have the link. I have the link. I have the article. Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor, can I finish the question, Your Honor? Can I
Yes,
finish
sir.
my answer?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor, could it be safe to say that Ryan couldn't make 135 also at that particular time? Would that be plausible at that particular time? Yes or no?
Well, that was never stated. Would he?
Could it be possible? Could it be possible?
Well, see, we're not going off. We're not going off of what.
Well, I'm just saying if Ryan. I'm just saying if Ryan could have made
what's
135. If Ryan could have made 135, why didn't he just come at 135 and let Fortuna come in heavy?
the same reason why he fought at 139 versus what's the African?
Finish with your line of questioning.
Okay,
Finish with your line of questioning.
okay. Now again, Ryan stated that Fortuna asked for 140. That's the reason why he fought that 135 fighter at 140, because Fortuna couldn't make weight. Okay, so we established that Ryan is a 135 that said he can easily make 135, and he chooses to fight at catch weight because it's again, he said it's smart. Okay, also, did we establish in the same New York presser that Ryan said he was very comfortable in 146 rehydration would be no problem because he walks around the ring at 148?
He said he could do it. He said he could do it. I don't remember him saying it was very comfortable. But
okay, play the video. You got the video. Okay. Well, he said yes, he can. And that same presser, within minutes later, he said Tank is trying to weight drain him.
Yes.
So which is true? In the same presser, you're saying the 146 will not be a problem, and then you say it is a problem. Which one? So we've established the fact that Ryan has no credibility when it comes to being honest. Even Tank stated that and if you read at the end of the video when Tank subtweeted Ryan, he basically said, "I don't even like you anymore because you're lying." So
he did say that, yeah.
Yeah. So Leonard Ellaby came out and said, Ryan, you're lying. We wanted 135. You asked for this. You asked for that. We didn't ask for a catch weight. Coach Calvin said, we didn't ask for a catch weight. We fight at 135. We campaign at 135. We got a belt at 135. So stop blaming Tank for something that Ryan created. Okay, so you're saying so he's strong enough at 146, but he's too weak at 135. Excuse me, he's strong enough at 136, but too weak for 135. That doesn't make any sense for a fighter who says catch weight is smart. Does it appear, let me ask you, Joe, does it appear that Ryan is following in the footsteps of Canelo, who created his own 155 weight class and fought like 7 fighters at 155?
I would have to disagree with that because his last fight was at 140 on the dot, which is a weight class. So
okay. So if I will send you if I post the article, the boxing article where it states the reasoning for the 140, Ryan would never campaign at 140. They fought at 140 because in the article it said Fortuna requested 140 because there was zero chance that he can make 135 because he was out of shape at 7 weeks notice. Okay, so all of that stated, that leads to a fact that a fighter who fights at 135 had dragged 2 135 fighters up to 139 and 140, not because he outgrew his body. It's because he said the first one said, "Oh, we discussed this with the to-go. We discussed this long time ago." Okay, we discussed this a long time ago, so it's not a problem. And Joe, let me nail this. Okay, if Ryan is already at 146, 35 days out, where is this weight drain? The weight drain usually happens when fighters try to lose a large amount of weight, like 10, 20 pounds within the last 2 days. You know what I mean? But Ryan is already on weight like he said he would. So all I'm saying is, you, Joe, you're a smart guy. Look at it through clear lenses, not biased lenses, and look at the fact that this is
why did he fight? Why did he fight to go at 139 though? That's what I'm trying to like. I don't understand that. I'm just trying to piece this together. Like, why was his last 2 fights above 135? That's what I'm trying to piece together. Was it because the other guys, or was it because of him? I'm just confused. And my next question is going to be, if his next fight is at 140 or above 135, then would that confirm that he's a 140 fighter? Because I don't know. Like you're saying
Joe, currently Ryan Garcia is not ranked at 140. He is
yes, he is.
ranked.
He's ranked in the WBC at 140.
Okay.
I checked
it. That's the one sanctioning body where he's at.
He's ranked at 140. Yeah,
but
he's ranked at 140.
In all others, he's ranked at 135. And going by the video, he says he's competing at 135. So we have to take his word for it.
I'm gonna look at the ratings right now because I have them up in front of me. So yeah, Ryan Garcia is ranked number 8 by the WBC at 140. And he is, let me see if he's ranked in the other sanctioning bodies. Rolly Romero is ranked number 7 by the WBA at 140. Now let me see if Ryan Garcia is ranked at 135 in any of these divisions. Currently, Ryan Garcia is ranked number 1 by the WBA at lightweight.
Yeah.
And he's ranked. Yeah, he's ranked number 1 by the WBA at lightweight, and he's ranked number 6 by the WBC at super lightweight. Excuse me, number 8 by the WBC at super lightweight. Now I don't know.
We're right in saying that he's ranked in 2 weight categories by one body, right?
Yeah, he is ranked in two
by
weight
3
categories.
Oh.
He's ranked at 140 by the WBC. Now I don't know when those lightweight rankings are, but I will say this will be his 3rd fight over 135. So that's telling me that he does not plan to campaign at 135 ever again. So he essentially is moving up to 140.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, he's ranked.
He hasn't fought at 135 for 3 years.
Yeah, and he's ranked.
He's never fought
by the IBF at super lightweight as well. So yeah, you're right.
He's ranked in the IBF as well at super lightweight. Is that what you said, Tony?
Right.
P?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ranked number 11. He's ranked number 11 by the IBF at 140, and he's ranked number 8 so he's a 140 fighter. Checkmate. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being honest.
He's never fought a 140 fighter, Joe.
Let's agree that he actually is.
He's a 140 pounder. He's ranked in 2 sanctioning bodies at 140.
Yeah.
Joe. When did these rankings occur? When did these rankings occur? You see, his last fights, he was all ranked at 135. Can you at least
checkmate? We have to be objective.
Yes,
now here's the frustrating thing. This is really frustrating to me. When I'm proving that I'm not biased, because when you state something truthful, I'm conceding. Can you at least concede that he is not a 135 pounder anymore? Can you at least concede that point, please? Now, here's the thing. Let me finish. I asked Nonito Donaire, can you still make 112? He said yes. Then I followed up the question with, can you still fight effectively at 112? He said absolutely not. So can you at least concede at this particular time, Ryan Garcia is officially a 140-pound fighter? Can you at least concede that, please?
I will concede that when he fights a 140 fighter like Tio is moving to 140 and fighting a 140 for the 140 title, like who else I mentioned that moved
Ramirez, Comey,
like Tio and Raleigh.
Taylor.
Both Teal and Raleigh are fighting 140 fighters. Okay, now I just posted a link for you, the Boxing Scene articles that says the reason why, and it's going to say again that they have to fight at the 140 catch weight. When two 135 fighters fight outside of that realm,
But
where they're
140 is
not
not a
ranked,
catch.
it's going to be
140 is
considered.
not a catch
Okay.
weight. Tony, is 140 a catch weight?
Okay,
No.
read the
It's
article.
not a catch weight. If
Read
you weigh
the-
in at 140, are you? Is that a junior welterweight? Yes or no?
Okay, but this is my problem with this whole argument. No one's talking about.
But you're
the
not.
fight.
But you're not conceding
Boxing-
any. You're not conceding.
But
any
there's nothing to concede.
Tony and I are making factual statements, right?
But you
Tony and I are
want me to
making factual
concede the
statements. You
hypothetical.
won't concede. You won't concede.
You-
Like,
listen.
I'm having a conversation with you in good faith, and when you make a point, I'm not tiptoeing around. I'm saying you're right.
Okay.
You're right. The
What
guy
I said was-
he's ranked at 140 in 2 sanctioning bodies. He has not fought at 135 for almost 2.5 years now.
But who's-
you have to
why?
concede.
Why?
You have to concede he's not a 135 pounder.
You're not conceding the fact that he said he is a 135 fighter, even
No,
when he fought them at
he never said
139
he
and
was
140.
He never said he was under 35 pounder. He said he can. So can
Oh,
I ask
oh,
you?
you
Can I
didn't-
say something?
you didn't hear
can
him on the
go.
video?
I can go without food for a week. Right? Does that mean that's beneficial to me? That I'm going to be optimal performing a task? No. Saying you can do something and saying you can do it effectively are two
He
different
said
things.
he could do it effectively in the video.
Never
sir.
said it. Never
I
said it.
think that's down. Can I just interject here, Checkmate?
Yes, sir.
So I wanna kind of circumvent both of yours arguments, because by definition, by what I'm listening to the clip that you put up, Checkmate, he actually says I am competing at 135. I'm walking around at 150 to 152. So when I listen to his words and the way that they come out,
that was an old
to
clip.
me,
When he said
declaring
135,
hang
the
on,
135 one was an old clip, Tony. That wasn't recent.
Hang on, but he's declaring himself as a lightweight. To my best of my knowledge, I've never heard a clip of him saying, right, I've now moved up.
Oh, I've heard him say he's moved up to 140. Sure.
No. Well, he said he wants to fight Devin next for the belts, and he also said he will fight Loma. So both of those are two 135 fighters. So if you're telling me the fighters that Ryan has said wants to focus on next is clearing the division at 135. Not once has he asked to say, I want Josh Taylor. He didn't say, I want Gary
He's
Antoine
called out
Russell.
Teofimo Lopez. He's called out Teofimo Lopez.
I'm
He's
not-
called out
let-
Teofimo Lopez.
Come on.
He's
come
called
on,
out
come on,
Teofimo Lopez.
Joe, he's been calling out Teofimo since they were 135 fighters. Teofimo still hasn't had a 140 fight yet. He's on a docket to have a 140.
So
Okay,
why-
so he's been calling them out as 135 fighters. He's never called an official 140 fighter out. So when he fights a 140 fighter, I will declare him a 140 fighter.
So if his last 2 fights were above 135 and this fight's above 135, these are all junior welterweight fights. So his last 3 fights.
Yeah,
are
but
gonna
he
be
wasn't
junior welterweight.
fighting junior. He wasn't fighting junior welterweights. He
Oh
was
my
fighting
God.
lightweights.
Joe, read the article right there.
But why is he ranked at 140?
It's a bit of a weird one, Joe. I got to admit, I technically still considered Ryan to be competing at 135. So it is a bit of a juxtaposition.
But here's the thing,
to
Tony.
say,
Here's the thing, Tony. You can make an argument, right?
how does he get a ranking at 140 when he hasn't fought a 140 fighter?
Well, can I ask you this?
Propaganda. They wanted to do that to force this narrative
now-
of the weight training.
Now, let me ask you this. When Sugar Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler at 160, right? For the first time, right? But he's never fought at 160 before, right? Was that a title fight?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Now, was he on that night, was he technically a 160 pounder?
No.
No, he is, because he weighed in at 160. If you step on the scale and you fight at a certain weight, on that day you are that weight. That's the weight class you're competing in.
Everybody knows Sugar Ray weighed in with trunks on, and he had all sorts of things in his pockets.
Okay, that's fine. He told me that too. I interviewed the guy. He had a roll of quarters in there.
Yeah,
but
there we go.
Technically, officially, was he a
agree.
middleweight?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you normally fight at. Again, I will concede. Checkmate is correct. Ryan Garcia took 2 lightweight fighters and they came up to 140. Now, Fortuna did that on his own volition. To go, he moved up as well, I think. Was to go a 135er, or was he a 140 pounder? So if you fight above 135, regardless of the reason, Checkmate, you are fighting in that weight class.
So Canelo fought at 155.
Can I quickly just correct a point?
Sir.
Can I just correct a point real quick? Teofimo has fought a bona fide light welterweight in Sandor Martin.
That's correct. He is now officially a 145 here.
I think Ryan Garcia is a 140 pounder too, because he hasn't.
He has never fought anybody at that weight.
Joe,
he has fought people at that weight.
He has not. Read the article.
You can say he's fought people. You can say he fought people, right? So if Fortuna weighs in at 139 and he weighs at 140, right? Now you can say he's never fought a ranked, full-fledged guy. But when someone moves up to a weight class on that day, they are competing in that weight class. Ryan Garcia has competed in that weight class twice. Now you can go ahead.
So can I just say then, therefore, based on what you have just said, your argument about Tank fearing Ryan at 135.
I'm not saying he's fearing him. I'm questioning why he's concerned about this guy, right?
This is now officially a light welterweight fight at a catchweight. It's officially a light welterweight fight.
Correct.
So we should just be dismissive of any weight stipulation because they both agreed to it. Yeah, it's now technically a light welterweight, a super lightweight or junior welterweight fight. Yeah. End of argument.
I'm just questioning why there's a rehydration clause. Why would someone want that in there?
Because
that tells me. But why would you put a penalty? Why would you have to penalize someone? If you already made 136, right? Why do you have to punish someone for making the weight?
Put the video up where Tank tweets.
There's not a punishment. There's not a punishment. There's not a punishment. Wait, let me finish. If Devin Haney steps on the scale, right, and weighs 135, and then the next day he decides to blow up to 155, he doesn't have a punishment. So why should Ryan have a punishment? Why should you have to make weight the next day? That's all I'm saying. These are legitimate questions. He is concerned the night of the fight that Ryan Garcia is going to rehydrate too big. He's concerned about that. You have to concede the point, or he wouldn't have put that in there. He would have just said, "Fuck it, let him get as big as he wants."
No,
that's legitimate. That's a legitimate question, Tony. Am I wrong?
No, you're
right.
I'm
giving you the reasons why.
You wouldn't have put it in there for.
I'm about to tell you.
Checkmate.
You asked me the question, sir. You asked me the question, sir.
You don't want to be honest, Checkmate. You're being too biased, Checkmate.
How am I being biased? Joe, can I make a statement, sir? Only thing I'm saying is exactly what Calvin Ford said. The reasons why they're using that rehydration because they want the fight at 135. If you want it at 136, then we're gonna tax you. You know why? Because you're being lazy. And another reason, you guys do realize that clenbuterol is legal now. You know where Canelo was banned. If Ryan is using clenbuterol and he at the same levels Canelo was banned for, no one would ever know, and it would never be publicized because the crooked boxing has made that legal. That is what Calvin Ford said. That was what Tank said. This is the reason why, because if you're on that clenbuterol, then guess what? You may blow up to 160, whatever the case may be, but guess what? Unfortunately, it's considered legal. So if Ryan is doing that clenbuterol, and you can see that his body transformation. When did his body transformation start? Right after he signed with Canelo team to be trained with to be trained by Canelo's trainer. Okay, all of a sudden his body transformation happened. Oh, I'm going on a mental hiatus.
So the size. You're admitting the size is an issue.
No, well, listen. I'm admitting clenbuterol is the issue. Okay. I'm admitting that Mexican beef is an issue.
Does clenbuterol make you bigger?
Tony. It makes you bigger, sir.
It's not
It
an
ma-
anabolic. No, it doesn't.
It makes you
Body-
bigger.
Bodybuilders use it at the end of the cycle, the last 2 weeks of a cycle, so they can
makes
get
you-
that so they can burn that excess body fat off. Actually, clenbuterol is used as a fat burner. It's not a mass gainer. It's not.
And
I've taken clenbuterol. I've lost fucking 12 pounds in 2 weeks taking it. Trust me.
And the
Guilty.
words
Guilty.
of
I didn't put on weight when I
the
took
words
clenbuterol.
of
I lost 12
WBC
pounds.
Mauricio.
I lost 12 pounds.
Okay, in the words of WBC President Mauricio Solomon, he said clenbuterol. It makes you big. It turns fat into muscle. It makes you big.
No,
it makes you
burns fat.
strong. It
It's
makes
a
you
weight
grow.
cutting agent.
Well,
Here's
that's
a
not
super
what.
chat.
So,
Here's a super chat.
so now you know more about
Clenbuterol is a weight cutting agent. A rehydration clause would not stop clenbuterol. A rehydration clause would inhibit you from using diuretics. That's what be the rehydration clause. Again, we're never gonna. You're never gonna say anything that's gonna be contrary to that doesn't support Tank Davis. We've just come to that. Now, has Tank Davis ever done anything wrong in the eyes of you? Like, is there any, like, would you ever say anything like critical of Tank Davis? Have you ever said anything critical of Tank Davis?
Absolutely. Tank was lazy. Tank was unfocused. Tank was just not on his grind. He wasn't taking boxing seriously. He wasn't training properly. And this is when he lost his belt on the scales. And this is, of course, that was when he's 130. And of course, he missed weight.
Why does he keep cutting out?
Yeah, not sure.
4.8. So Tank just wasn't seriously. He was partying. He was drinking. So he wasn't dedicated. And now he is dedicated.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Do you think Ryan Garcia is a better fighter at 140 than he is 135, or do you think it doesn't make a difference?
Ryan Garcia has never fought a rated fight at 140 versus a 140 fider. I just posted. Listen, the fact of the matter
that's
is
true.
Ryan
I'm not refuting that. I'm not refuting that.
So any fighter who feels like they got Brian is 5'10", right? He got the bigger frame, so he can fill out. So naturally, he want to be stronger. Ryan says he's strong. So Ryan says he's stronger, he's bigger, and everything else, right? Because why? The clenbuterol. Period.
I mean, again, here's where we're going to be in agreement. I think the majority of boxers at this top level are taking PEDs. That's just my opinion. I can't prove. Well, I kind of can prove it with anecdotal evidence, but I can't prove it factually, specifically to each individual boxer. But anecdotally, I can prove it. But I'm not going to put anyone on blast. Go ahead, Tony.
So it comes to mind now that we have. I think we've all agreed. Well, maybe not Checkmate, but you and I have agreed that Ryan is now campaigning at super lightweight stroke junior welterweight. The question now comes. Why are you choosing Tank Davis? Why are you picking the small guy, the small lightweight guy for a fight? I know it makes dollars, and if it makes dollars, it makes sense. But really and truly, if you're about this boxing game, why are you picking small fish?
I'm going to tell you the truth, Tony. I think Ryan Garcia believes in his skills, his size, and his speed, but I think also he's looking at Tank as the smaller guy, and he's thinking he could be the weight bully here. That I think that is in his mind. Is that where we're going with this, Tony? Is that
Yes,
where we're
sir.
going with this?
Yes,
See,
sir.
Tony. See, Tony. We tell the truth, don't we, Tony?
We do.
Ryan thinks he's going to be the weight bully here, and Tank is saying, "I'm not going to let this guy be the weight bully." That's
There
just
we
the
go.
argument.
There we go.
Can I tell you something?
There you bingo.
If I put Checkmate and I wrapped him in a polygraph right now and I asked him that, he would say that Tank doesn't want Ryan to be bigger than him.
Well, Ryan is already naturally bigger. He, like I said, with the clenbuterol, with the cheating.
I love when he said the clenbuterol.
Absolutely.
The
He's taking the clemmy. He's taking the clemmy. You can see his body transformation. And that's it.
David Benavidez, when he gets in the ring tonight, is gonna weigh 200 pounds because he's got Memo Heredia. He's got Memo Heredia in his corner. You best believe that you best believe he's got IVs in him right now as we speak. I'm probably gonna get a court summons Monday morning. But he's probably got
You put it
IVs
out
and
there.
he's got IVs. I'm lucky this channel's small enough that no one gives a shit about me. But he's got IVs in him as we speak right now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna cut out here. I gotta get a workout in here, man. And I won't be needing clenbuterol for this workout. Full disclosure. Checkmate.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm a little
I
disappointed.
checkmated you. Oh, no, Tony, did I checkmate him? Yes or no? Did every fact that I state was backed up by the video? I didn't give my own opinion. I only
Can I put a
showed
poll?
the
Can I put a
evidence
poll in
that
the chat? Let me put a poll in the chat to see if you
listen.
check.
Your
You think
polls
that
are already blind marked
Skewed?
for you before you
Biba
even make
maniacs.
them,
There's a lot of
sir.
BB.
I
There's a lot of
don't
BB
even look at
maniacs
the
out there.
room when I don't even look at the room chat when I'm talking to you, sir. I'm in a back studio. I don't even read what they're saying because they're totally 100% biased against you.
I'm gonna say I'm on Checkmate side on this one. The room are completely against Tank.
100%.
We are the only ones invested in the Tank narrative. We had our work cut out to come out today and defend Tank. I think we've done that admirably. I think we've put you in mate at the very least.
I put him in check. No, I checkmated him.
You know, look, I'm gonna say this: you're in mate until the end of the fight. When Ryan is on the floor, out cold, I'm gonna call that checkmate.
And then listen, and right now you guys got a built-in excuse for that knockout. You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen after Tank sleep him? After Joe Goosen pick him up off the floor, like Tank said, oh, he was rehydrated. He was high. You know, he couldn't. You know, he was weight trained.
Record.
Oh,
I'm going to go on record right now. This is on video right now. Going on record right now. I'm betting on Ryan Garcia to win the fight by unanimous decision.
We knew that. You told us that 2 weeks ago.
I'm betting on him to win by unanimous decision. And if Tank does knock him out, I will make zero excuse.
Thank you, sir.
If he beats this giant monster, Ryan Garcia, who's got such a size advantage over him, and he's going to be the weight bully come April 22nd.
Yeah.
If he can overcome Goliath, he gets full credit from me.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
All right, everyone. Peace out. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Have a great day.
Have a good weekend, folks.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
all right.
Take care, man.
Take it easy. All right.
All right.